Good day, everyone. My name is Oluwatosin Akinwotu. I'm a PhD scholar in the Department of Microbiology, University of Ibadan. I'm here this afternoon to talk about my research work, and the title of my research is antibiotic resistance in certain water samples, selected water samples in Ibadan. And what does this really talk about? It entails the spread of antibiotics from humans to the back into the environment. What are the anthropogenic activities that we do as humans that release antibiotic resistant bacteria into the environment. So the research objective number one was to look at the distribution of bacteria that are resistant to antibiotics in the environment. Also to look at what antibiotics do they resist, and lastly to look at what gene do they carry that make it easy for them to be able to resist these antibiotics. So basically, the work, like I said, was to look at the distribution of this bacteria, and with our findings, we're able to understand that the environment is so rich in bacteria that are resistant to commonly used antibiotics. Yes, from those findings, some of the bacteria that have never been recorded before in this part of the world were found. That is, novel bacteria that were resistant to antibiotics. Not just were they resistant to antibiotics, they were resistant to several antibiotics. So we call them multi-drug resistant bacteria. And in fact, it is actually worrisome that they did not just carry this bacteria, but they also carry the resistant genes that have never been reported in Africa. For instance, the MCR gene, which code for resistance to colistin. Colistin is one of the antibiotics that are kept or preserved, as a last resort. But it is now unfortunate that these genes, we now begin to find bacteria carrying the gene resistant to this type of antibiotics in our environment, in Ibadan, as it were. So it is very, very worrisome. And therefore, the recommendation will be that our federal government, the government, we appeal to the government to look into waste management, to make it more effective, looking at what are the wastes that are generated. How are they? They have to be well treated before they are released into the environment, either from the human health care, the animal health care facilities, or even the pharmaceutical industries. So the waste that they generate has to be treated. This is a major way to reduce the spread of antibiotic resistant bacteria and antibiotic resistant genes in the environment. I would like to appreciate my supervisor, that's Professor Adeniyi Ogunjobi of the Department of Microbiology, University of Ibadan, with whom this work was designed, and he was able to